Greetings, everybody. This is Shifu O. I didn't plan on doing a video today, but this knucklehead has gotten on my page, and he hasn't really raised any valid questions, but I'm going to answer everything that he put on there and put a bed to this. I'm going to put this to bed. Because he gets on here and he shows some fake messages that he created to show people that I may have created the text messages that Jimmy Sherman sent. Okay, you can do that. He sits there and talks about how I put my daughter's name in the mud and this, that, and the other. He probably never even met my daughter, but that's okay. I don't know this dude. 2 weeks ago, he inboxed me and pretty much threatens me. And, threatens to tell my past and all this, saying that my son doesn't agree with me and blah, blah, blah. All that's not true, but okay, we'll buy that. So for once and for all, let's put all this crap to bed. He says that he studies criminal justice. Okay, Mr. Criminal Justice studying in the past or present, if over a year now, I've been filing, if I've been putting these videos up, I've been calling out, putting out warnings, this, that, and the other, putting fact after fact after fact. If none of this was true, why haven't the police come after me? Why haven't Jimmy Sherman tried to sue me? Why has none of this even... Jimmy Sherman is such a coward, he can't even call me. He can't even get in contact with me. And I have witnesses because I made sure that I had people around me when I called him, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 times from 3 different numbers. And he refused to respond. So he's a coward. And the fact that you have Team Unity members getting on here and spewing this nonsense, that's key to it right now. All you're doing is trying to divert attention from the truth. So with that being said, let's take the text messages. Okay, first of all, they never, ever dumped Jimmy Sherman's phone. No one even investigated Jimmy Sherman, because once they dumped my daughter's phone, they said that there was no proof that when she was 15 that they had a relationship. There was no need. Did you hear me, everybody? There was no need at that point to go after Jimmy Sherman. So when and where did they dump his phone if he wasn't under investigation? When was he vindicated by the police if he was never investigated? He did not speak to the police until I requested. The investigating officer asked me that I want him to talk to Jimmy Sherman. And he told Jimmy Sherman that if it was up to him, he would put Jimmy Sherman under the jail. Jimmy Sherman had a conversation with him and admitted, this is the key thing, everybody, he admitted to having a sexual relationship with a minor. 16 is a minor. You cannot buy cigarettes, buy a drink, serve your country. You are a minor. And only in South Carolina you're going to get away with some crap like that. Now, this officer, he did his job, and he was pissed that he could not prosecute Jimmy Sherman. But don't get on my page and talk about they dumped Jimmy Sherman's phone. They never actually, he told me that Jimmy Sherman's phone is probably at the bottom of the river right now. So with all that being said, that's lie. How is it that, then he's going to say something to the effect that these text messages was a fake. Okay, the text messages came from my daughter's phone that the police pulled. The police pulled the messages, and they were the same exact messages that were in the snapshot. It's in the police report. So, Mr. Criminal Justice Studying, you're full of crap. You're trying to divert attention from the truth. Jimmy has told so many lies and has been underground making phone calls, trying to get people to do his seminars and to train with him and this, that, and the other. And no one, well, most of you have common sense. Y'all already see that, so I don't have to explain that. But come on now, people. This is getting, his defenses are getting weaker and weaker and weaker. On one hand, he's saying that I'm doing all of this because I asked him to take my daughter off of Unity. I'm her father. If I say she's off, guess what? She's off. I don't care what her mother says. I don't care what anybody said. If I wanted her off, she would have been off, period. Jimmy Sherman did not rule my family, nor my school, or anything else, period. Next thing, then, that didn't seem to fly because people were like, I know every single one of you was like, well, if I don't want my daughter on a team, she won't be on the team, period. So I don't know how anybody even believed that. So I guess people weren't believing it. And so now you got to sit there and you got to go, okay, well, me and, he was saying that my ex and him got in a big argument, this, that, and the other, like they were lovers or something. And she told Cassandra to lie on him. So Cassandra went 200 and something miles to go to Columbia, South Carolina and tell police a lie. Okay, Mr. Criminal Justice, wouldn't my daughter be in jail, or wouldn't she have a case against her for filing a false report? Mr. Criminal Justice, wouldn't I, with all these videos, have a case against me for filing a false report? So everybody who's listening to all this garbage that is being spewed by Jimmy Sherman and Team Unity, think about that. If I was to go against any one of you right now and file a false report, and it was proven that it was a false report, then what? Where would my butt be? And wouldn't you try to sue me for defamation of character and everything else if it wasn't true? You can't sue for harassment or defamation if it's not true. Then what can you do? In civil court, the proof is on him that he didn't do it. There is no proof that he did not do this. And then why is he hiding? Why is everyone else speaking up for him except him? Why, if when I wanted to settle this quietly and just kick his behind, why couldn't he pick up a phone? Why am I blocked? Despite this knucklehead going on my page today and put in all this stuff, did I block him? No, because he has a right to say what he wants to say. If that's what he feels and that's what he feels is the truth, I am not going to block his right to say it. Jimmy Sherman seems to think that, oh, well, I'm not going to get into that social media stuff. But excuse me, how many lives am I saving? How many people am I saving from going through the same crap that I went through? This is not me blabbing. This is not me, just picking a fight with anybody. This is none of that he's saying it is. If I was such an enemy and if I was such a person that he said that I was from the beginning, why was he inviting me to his house? Why would he sit there and buy beer and put it in his refrigerator so that I can drink, but I was such a bad person? None of this makes sense. So people start to think about, I traveled from Atlanta to South Carolina. If I'm such the person that he was saying and we had a beef, if we had any type of beef, why was I driving from Atlanta to South Carolina to train and spend the night at his house so that we didn't have to spend on hotels? Why was we doing that? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself, how come I'm not in jail? There's no lawsuits against me. Ask yourself that. And with that being said, the last thing is, this guy doesn't know me from a can of paint. I don't know him for a can of paint. For him to inbox me and threaten me with untruths, for one, and, even though my ex has, some issues when it comes to telling the truth herself. I admit that. And it's not that she lies. She only tells what she wants people to know. And not telling everything, you know, that's a problem when you don't tell everything, because then it's one-sided. That's why when I get on here, I'll put myself on blast before anybody else, because my past and everything I've done, either I learned from it, and I don't even hide behind the mitigating circumstances. You're either going to like me or you're not. You know, I'm always going to have students. I'm always going to do what I have to do. I'm getting ready to get engaged to one of the finest women to walk the planet Earth. What can you take from me? Nothing. So with that being said, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Keep diverting attention, because it's not working. I'm not going to sit here and rant, and with this dude, I'm not going to even spend too much time, because I've seen him. I'm not going to say nothing about that, but yo, those of you who know me, y'all already know what I'm thinking. So we're not even going to leave it. We're just going to leave it at that. So this video was just to show everybody that, you know, they are so desperate to clear attention from, to divert attention from Jimmy Sherman, that it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Nothing that they are saying makes the remote sense. Everything is in the police report. It's what Jimmy Sherman said. It's what my daughter said. It's what I can prove. The lies he has told in the past. The lies he's still telling. That's telling you, I spoke to his exes. I spoke to other people whose lives he destroyed by doing the same thing. It's repeated behavior. So I'm not the only one he's done this to. And thanks to these videos, other people come out. Other people tell their Jimmy Sherman stories. And I wish I knew these stories, because my daughter would have never even been on Team Unity. You know, never. When you have an 8-year-old boy, you know, saying stuff about Jimmy Sherman, and you know, that's my son who found stuff on my daughter's phone and found stuff on his mother's phone. When you have him talking about he doesn't want to go to train with them, and everybody who knows my little man knows he loves to fight. He loves to train. He loves competition. But he hated going to Jimmy Sherman's school. So you figure it. He could beat everybody in practice. Every kid in practice he could beat. And then, you know, we're not even going to go there. That's irrelevant. The point of this video, everybody, is that, you know, everybody is entitled to being stupid. But at the same time, common sense is just common sense. The only victim here has been my daughter. It's not me. It's not my ex. It's definitely not Jimmy Sherman, as he claims. He is so far from being a victim. And it pisses me off that he claims that he's a victim. So, with my daughter being the only victim, I swear to God that this is the bravest little girl to walk the planet Earth, who's been able to sit there and go and tell the police the truth, and sit there against me and her mother's wishes, contacted her coach, which was Brian Plimple, and told him the truth, and was asking what did she did wrong. She really didn't think she did anything wrong, because this dude had her brainwashed. You know, thinking, you know, she's in love with this dude. This is how he operates. And if I can show you people who do not want to get into this unless it hits the fan, Jimmy Sherman is he's a piece of work. He's a sick, twisted individual who needs more than Jesus. And that's a shame, because, you know, my past and me repenting and being saved since 2001, my past will get me in the south side of heaven. His past is going to get him in middle hell, because not only did he do this, he's diverting attention from it and refuses to take responsibility for his actions. We are not two black men fighting each other. We are not that what this guy says. That's the diversion. Oh, Jimmy Sherman does. What does Jimmy Sherman do for the community? What does he done? You know, if what he does for the community, you know, going after these young girls, talking about, you know, he has his little sayings about them too. You know, and the people that are commenting on Jimmy Sherman haven't known Jimmy Sherman, from what I'm told. They've known him for a short time. They've been on the team for a short time. So why the heck are you going to come at me with stuff that you don't even know about, Mr. Criminal Justice? With all that, I'm sorry, people, that I had to come out here and do this. And I'm just tired of people's BS. You know, they can't come at it any other way, so they're going to try to, you know, discredit me and this, that, and the other. You can't discredit me, and my life hasn't changed. Actually, my life has gotten better. So it's not a shame. There's not two people being destroyed here. The only person destroyed is my daughter, and I'm not putting her on Front Street. I'm commending her because she is brave. She went to the police. It had to be embarrassing for her to go to the police. It had to be embarrassing for her to admit what happened. It had to be embarrassing for her to admit that she was duped and manipulated. It had to be. And with that being said, that makes her my hero. That makes her so brave that she is my hero. Because she got up and did that. She wasn't coerced to do it. What kind of brothers and sisters... And this is another thing. This dude saying that my son doesn't agree with what I'm saying. So if he doesn't agree with what I'm saying, how is it that he supports his sister? So that would mean he wouldn't agree with what she did. That would mean that he would testify against him. The one thing you don't know about my kids, a lot of them may not like me for things that are out of control, but they love each other. They are not going to do the things Jimmy Sherman said they do. They're going to stick together like glue no matter what. They may fight, they may do whatever they're going to do, but they're going to stick together as glue. And I'm praying that one of my sons doesn't see this, because I believe he doesn't even know yet. And once he does find out, oh my God. Oh my God, that's all I'm going to say about that. So talk about what you know. Don't come on my inbox threatening me. You can say whatever you want on my page, but make it believable. Nothing that you said or put up is believable. Everything is in a police report. They would not put fake texts that they dumped from my daughter's phone in a police report. The police would not tell me that Jimmy Sherman, the police would not tell me that Jimmy Sherman admitted it. And that's it in a nutshell. He admitted it. There should be no more discussion. No more discussion, because he admitted it. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, be cool. Keep protecting your people. Keep going to these tournaments. Keep performing. Just know what to look for. And remember, these are not attacks on Jimmy Sherman. These are warnings. I am warning the world to look out for the Jimmy Shermans of the world. That's it. Shifu out. Peace.